So I've taken the day off for some R&R and I've decided to come out and have my lunch outdoors just to relax and get away from it all. Sometimes it's not about going up and climbing the highest mountains and pitching your tent on those dramatic ledges and spots. It's just about the act of getting outdoors, just being out of your house, away from your regular environment, and coming out and enjoying the fresh air. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I've got some simple sandwiches with me, and I've got the Trangia burner on a Bushcraft Ultralight spirit burner. I'm going to have a coffee, very simple. I've brought a tarp, not that I need it because it's a sunny day, just to practice a few little setups, and I'm just going to enjoy myself. And I brought the camera along as well, so hopefully you'll get a little bit of something from this video. And I'd encourage everyone just to, even when you can't get out on those epic trips, just come out, have your lunch or your evening meal outdoors for a change, because it works wonders. I've got various little guidebooks about trees, plants, flowers and birds and wildlife, so a good thing to do is learn them. Learn to recognise what you're looking at, what tree is that, what plant is that, and learn more about nature and the environment. It's a really relaxing and mindful activity. I've mentioned on previous videos, you know, when you're hearing bird song, for example now, this little section where I'm at, I can hear different calls of different birds. Now, most people, might be a bit of a generalisation there, but most people I would suggest don't know, well, what bird is that based on its call. You can learn that with a bit of research on YouTube, and there's various apps out there which will help you as well. But I just think it's a nice way to take things in, to actually get to know the environment and nature a little bit more. So I'm quite hungry, time for something to eat, so I'll show you a bit of the scenery en route to the spot where we're going to enjoy lunch. So another way that you can be mindful when out on your walks outdoors, and it sounds a little bit weird to those of you who might not be familiar with the concept, but you know, it's noticing things such as the different colours of the leaves, the different shapes of the leaves, textures, stopping to touch it. You know, there's nothing wrong with feeling a few trees, but you know, experiencing the environment, stopping to notice things that ordinarily you completely ignore and you never pay attention to. It's being mindful of the things around you, the colours, the shapes, the sounds, really stopping to pay attention, and that takes your mind off any worries you may have, and it refocuses you on the natural environment. And yeah, it's like the only sort of analogy I can think of is if someone asked you to hold a glass of water out to the side, you could probably do it easily for 30 seconds or a minute or so. If you stood there an hour later, you'd find it pretty uncomfortable. So when you've got stresses and worries in life, if you come out and you're mindful, you are essentially putting that glass of water down, taking your mind off those stress, off those worries, and you are refocusing your mind and you're giving yourself a break. So that's what it's all about. And I practice this myself. Stressful lives, stressful jobs, life events, and you know, the outdoors is free, or it can be very low cost to get out and enjoy it, and it really helps, and people talk about it, and this is why. So let's go in and set the stove up and have some lunch. So you can't really get much more simple than this. Small day pack, bit of a ground sheet, some sandwiches I've brought along, some water to boil up on a met stove, really cheap, and I'm going to have a hot drink and have my lunch in this lovely environment. So again, just emphasising the point I made at the start of the video, it doesn't always have to be an epic expensive adventure to the Lake District or one of the national parks where you've got to put fuel in your car, use loads of expensive gear and tents and stuff like that. This is a really cheap and simple way of just enjoying the great outdoors, and something which I personally do a lot behind the scenes. You just don't see it because I don't always bring the camera along, but again, I'd urge you all to come out and give it a go, keeping it simple like this too. So time to have a sandwich, and then we'll get the stove set up. The stove is in my top pocket of my jacket. There we are, Bushcraft Essentials Ultralight, and it just slots together, but it's pretty slim, probably less than a millimetre in thickness, if that. It's just stamped sheet. I think it's made out of titanium. You know, I don't know the technical specs, but it's tiny and it weighs next to nothing. So yeah, that's really good. So yeah, time to have something to eat. So the pack I'm using today is great. It's a Typhoon 15 by Exped, and it is a roll top closure day pack, which is completely waterproof with tape seams inside the pack. It's got these two mesh pockets on each side, a bit of daisy chain webbing on the front, loops which you can pull out of those pockets for your walking poles, and a nice bit of elastic cordage just to secure them there as well. And then on the back we've got a grab handle, nice bit of mesh to keep it nice and breezy and airy. Got a sternum strap and a hip belt as well, which you can remove if you so wish. It easily fits everything I need for a mini micro adventure today. So all I'm going to do now is assemble the stove and get a nice hot drink on the go. I'll bring you back. We've just got some matches, one sachet of coffee. I've got my Ridgeline, which I'm going to have got to play around with later on. Yeah, and I've got a tart with me as well. Nice titanium spork. We've got our meths for the stove, and like I say, the stove itself, it's in the top pocket. That is it. Let's get it put together. So really simple. Comes in this nice drawstring pouch, and it weighs next to nothing. I don't know the exact specs because I've not set out in mind to sort of review this or anything like that. It's this thin stamped, I'm not sure whether it's titanium, I think it is, but yeah, it weighs, you know, it's sort of featherweight ridiculous. So all you do is slot these side panels together. There's only one way that they can fit together, and it's not too difficult to do that. You've got an ash plate or a base plate. I just put it on the lowest one, and yeah, put a bit of tension on it. Get our final panel in, and it should clip together. It's always more difficult to do these things when you've got a camera rolling, but yeah, there we go. That wasn't too difficult, was it? Because it's a little bit breezy today, I've just brought along this cheap Robins foil windshield. I mean, you could make your own, but this is really effective. It pretty much encloses the whole stove, and yeah, it just protects that flame and cuts down on the boil times. Well, now we're just going to sit. The beauty of Mets is that it's pretty much silent, and I'll wait for the water to boil up and enjoy our nice coffee. Cheers everyone, these are the great outdoors. So that's it for this short video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope I have illustrated that it doesn't have to be a big fancy adventure to be enjoyable. You know, simple, a few sandwiches, a coffee in some local woodland, taking in the sights and sounds of the outdoors is all you need at the end of the day. If you've got any questions about some of the equipment I've used, just let me know in the comments below and I will answer every single one. If you're new to the channel, go back in the archives, and there's lots of short trips out like this, so if that's something that interests you, just have a bit of a scroll back through some of the videos and you'll find them. If you've enjoyed it, please do give it a quick thumbs up, and yeah, I always ask that because it helps me out and it's absolutely free, so that would be great if you could do that. And if you are on Instagram, so is MCM Outdoors, come and follow me on there. I share videos and short video clips whilst I'm doing things like this. And if you're on Facebook, come over and join our group, talk all things great outdoors, outdoor gear, tips, and share your pictures as well with a load of like-minded people. Let's get our little ones, I say it on every video, apologies if it's repetitive, but I like to get that message out there. Let's get our younger generation, our little ones, out into the outdoors and enjoying things like this. Bring your children with you, make them a hot chocolate in the woods, bring the favourite snacks and teach them all about the trees, the sights, the sounds, absolutely everything. And let's get our younger generation enjoying what we do and learning to respect and look after the outdoors too. I'm going to catch you on the next video. I'm going to go back home, get this edited, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.